Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly bag. This that you've just seen, the perlage, you need to be very skilled and very, very good.
Some of Hermès products are made in China. Towels are from Fuyue in Shandong. They also make products for Chanel and IKEA. Beddings are from Yue in Shandong. Men's shoes are from Shachi in Shandong. Tableware are from Gaochun in Jiangsu.
It was my first time shopping at Hermès, and let me tell you how it went.
We got a lot of requests, do Hermès next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
Made in Italy, made in China, or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way, because some brands get real creative when it comes to made in.
Hermès is in panic mode, and the luxury industry is shaking. When it comes to luxury fashion, few names carry the same weight as Hermès. The brand is famous for its handcrafted Birkin and Kelly bags, each selling for tens of thousands of dollars. People around the world dream of owning one, hoping it means they've made it. But now, that illusion is falling apart, fast. The high-end brand is in full-blown panic. Why? Because the very factories that helped create their billion-dollar success are now turning against them. And not only are they speaking out, they're showing proof. Receipts, photos, videos. They're revealing the secret Hermès never wanted the world to know. Most of those made-in-France bags weren't really made in France at all. Let's break this down. The myth of French luxury. For decades, Hermès has sold us a dream. The dream of a French artisan, carefully stitching leather by hand in a quiet...
So Hermès has put out a response to China, and they have like a video in a factory sort of showing people trying to show that they're actually the ones who are making the bags in a factory somewhere in France.
Parisian workshop. You can almost hear the classical music playing in the background, can't you? It's a romantic image. A person in a white coat, working by candlelight, treating each bag like a masterpiece. But that image? It's mostly smoke and mirrors. Here's how Hermès tells the story. A Kelly bag, one of their most iconic styles, is said to take around 20 hours to make. Just crafting the handle takes 4 hours. No shortcuts, no manuals. Only trained professionals, relying on memory and skill, are trusted to create these luxury items. Now here's the truth. Up to 80% of that work is being done in Chinese factories, not fake factories, not some back alley operation. We're talking about the actual manufacturers that Hermès contracts to make the real bags. They handle the leather cutting, stitching, threading, almost everything. Then once the bag is shipped to France, Hermès might add a button, a stamp, or a clasp. Suddenly, it's made in France. That's the trick.
Spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
Whistleblower Hubadier spilled the tea. Enter Tanner Leatherstein, the man who started pulling the thread that unraveled it all. Tanner isn't just another influencer chasing clicks. He's a leather expert with a loyal following. His videos are different. He buys expensive designer items, then cuts them open on camera. He examines the stitching, the leather, the materials, and he tells viewers what's really inside. He's already exposed major brands like Chanel for switching from real gold to plastic-coated metal.
Almost finished bags from China factories, back to their own factories, and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that.
He's taken apart Louis Vuitton bags, Bottega Veneta. Now Hermès is in his crosshairs, and they don't like it. Tanner's findings were shocking. He showed that many of these luxury bags were made with the same quality leather and parts found in $100 knockoffs. He even estimated the true cost of making a Birkin, about $600, not $14,000, not $38,000, just $600 for the leather, hardware, and labor included. The secret's out, and Hermès is furious. When Tanner's videos started going viral, Hermès could no longer hide behind the illusion, especially because the Chinese manufacturers themselves began speaking out. These weren't bootleggers making copies. They were the same companies Hermès had hired to make real bags. They had documents, they had photos of the production process, and they had nothing left to lose. Once the truth hit social media, Hermès went into panic mode.
It's the Chinese supply behind product. Bags are from Sitong Handbag in Dongguan City, Guangdong Province. It's a factory specializing in handbags for 54 years, and it produces 80% of the world luxury bags.
But instead of coming clean, they did what many big companies do when caught: lawyer up. Hermès is now suing several Chinese factories for defamation and intellectual property theft. Basically, they're saying, how dare you expose the truth? But here's the twist. These factories didn't do anything illegal. They were working under contracts with Hermès and other major luxury brands. So now that they've spoken up, Hermès is pretending like they don't even know them. The numbers don't lie. Let's take a step back and do some simple math. In 2024, Hermès made over $15 billion in revenue. That's millions of bags sold. Now, if it takes nearly 2 days to make a single Birkin, how many workers in France would it take to keep up with demand? The math doesn't add up. It's just not possible that all those bags are being made in small French workshops. And Hermès isn't alone in this game. Other brands like Chanel, Prada, and Louis Vuitton are doing the same thing. Most of the work is done in countries like China or Vietnam. Then a zipper or button is added in Italy or France, so they can legally claim, it's made in Europe. It's a marketing trick, a branding illusion, and people are finally catching on. The fallout has
started making his boots in China, and that is these boots right here. This is pretty much the UGG boot that most Americans will have in their house. I was very pissed off when I found out the truth because I grew up in Southern California. I remember being in elementary school when I would only see 2 people in the entire school wearing UGG boots, and they were always the cool surfer kids.
It's begun. Now that consumers know the truth, the ripple effects are everywhere. Resale prices for luxury bags are starting to dip. Collectors are getting nervous, and everyday buyers are feeling cheated. Imagine spending $25,000 on a bag, only to learn it was made in the same factory as a $400 dupe. That's not luxury, that's just smart branding. Tanner's investigations even found that bags advertised as 100% calfskin leather were actually made from cheaper materials, coated in plastic. That kind of deception is making people rethink their trust in these brands. If Hermès isn't really selling craftsmanship, then what exactly are people paying for? The truth about made in China. For years, luxury brands pushed the idea that made in China meant poor quality. But that's an outdated stereotype. Today, Chinese factories produce some of the best leather goods in the world. They have the tools, the skills, the technology, and the talent. In fact, many luxury brands use the same factories that also make mid-range items and knockoffs. The only real difference? The tag they sew on at the end. One TikTok creator even shared that she got a pair of UGG boots made in the exact same factory as the real thing. The only thing missing? The label. Her boots cost $5. Western media has spent decades teaching us that Europe equals luxury and China equals cheap. But when you pull back the curtain, it's clear. It's all about perception. Not quality. The celeb factor. Let's not forget how we got here in the first place. Celebrities. Designer brands wouldn't be where they are today without stars showing off their bags like trophies. You think Cardi B is dropping $60,000 on every Birkin she posts? No. Most of these bags are gifted or loaned. It's called product placement, and it works. The brand sends a bag to a celebrity. They post it on Instagram. Suddenly, thousands of people want the same bag. It's all part of the game. Even Kylie Jenner once showed off her massive luxury collection. But how many of those bags were gifted? How many were actually made in France? It's Not just celebs either.
Nothing is as humbling as your daughter drawing on your $60,000 Birkin, am I right?
Yeah. I couldn't even be mad at her because when I asked her, I was like, I wanted to see if she was gonna tell me the truth. I was like, Coach, did you draw on mommy's purse?
Literally spent $60,000 on this purse. Look what my daughter did to my purse.
Oh, let's not forget that time that Kylie Jenner posted an Hermès closet tour. People lost their ever-loving minds, but how many of those were even bought with their own coin? And even if they were they even made in France or a back room in Shenzhen?
This is pretty much where I keep all my purses. This one here is really special. If my house is on fire, I would take this one out of all of them.
Influencers on TikTok and Instagram are also in on it. They post luxury unboxings and designer hauls, most of which are PR drops or sponsored deals. They didn't pay for the bags, but they're making money promoting them. Meanwhile, regular people are going broke trying to keep up. The Birkin trap. Now let's talk about the Birkin trap. At some point, owning a Birkin bag became the ultimate status symbol. But here's the kicker. You can't even walk into a Hermès store and buy one. You have to build a purchase history first. That means spending thousands of dollars on scarves, belts, and perfume before the brand will even consider offering you a Birkin. That's not luxury. That's a loyalty scheme. It's a luxury cult. And people are lining up to join. Fakes, flexing, and fooling. The public. What's even wilder is that many celebs and influencers aren't even rocking the real thing. Some wear high-quality dupes and still tag the original brands. Why? To stay trendy without spending tens of thousands of dollars. Insiders say some stylists even buy fake bags and use them for photo shoots, tagging the real brand for clout. And guess what? That's enough to get invited to Fashion Week. In this game, illusion is everything. The system rewards appearances, not authenticity. That it girl with the luxury collection on your timeline, she might not own a single real bag, and the brands don't care. Because the truth is, the brand name sells, not the product. The customers are the ones. Losing while the brands get richer, the influencers collect checks, and the celebs post selfies. Guess who's losing? You. You're the one spending a month's rent on a label. You're the one buying into an illusion built by people who didn't even pay for the product. And now, as the truth comes out,